God bless America, hey! God bless America, oh! Happy that film where Will Smith punches an alien in the face, everybody. Hey, independence, woo! Yeah, I'll probably talk more about my feelings and thoughts on American Independence Day on the NZ cast, which you should listen to the Nukezilla podcast. Oh, sorry, one of the Nukezilla podcasts, the NZ cast, because it's quite good, and this season we've changed quite a few things up, and I think you might like it. It's only one of two, because the Communicast is coming back, yeah! I think they recorded the first episode of, which I think is actually episode 8, last night, and I'm genuinely very excited, because the Communicast is a fantastic podcast. For those who don't know, the Communicast is the sort of community-run podcast of Nukezilla. NZcast is kind of like a sort of an outward-facing, like this is Nukezilla producing this thing that goes out to people who may not be familiar with the site, and the Communicast is sort of like a community-driven thing for the site. So I really like it. I'm going to drink some more of this delicious iced coffee. I'm going to need as much iced coffee as possible because today the weather is going to get horrible. It's meant to be like up in the mid-90s, which is, let's just call it 30 degrees centigrade, and it's so warm there's not a cool breeze, and this afternoon going to a state fair. But I'll be talking about that on the podcast. Anyway, I need to get through this. Not get through this, it isn't like a difficult thing, but I need to get this done in a timely fashion so that you guys, I'm not wasting your time. First point that a few people have asked me already. No, the Nukezilla logo is definitely not parody. It is certainly not a joke. I am a true American, and I think we should celebrate our independence, and changing the logo of the video game website I run is the best way to do that. So, God bless. Yeah, I guess it's God bless. Not, yeah, because you don't like God bless the president. It's like God bless just America. Anyway, Sam's first issue of the Nukezilla Sunday paper went up today, and I thought I'd just talk about that quickly. So it turns out Rock Paper Shotgun do a very similar thing. It's basically a collection of cool articles that we found, and the idea is that on Sundays there's not much to do. You could just sit around, read a few nice long articles, and so we find stuff during the week that we like pass around internally, so now it's like a cool place to share. And better yet, if you have found something cool during the week that you've like bookmarked or shared or whatever, post it in the comments of that, and then when people reach the bottom of the article, they can then see like, oh cool, this guy wrote like, these people think that this is really interesting, and then it's like, it's kind of a cool way to share like articles, but in the blog format, so that like as a forum thread it wouldn't really work, whereas this has a like once every Sunday, boom, like it's done, and it's a thing that people like. Keeping it on the schedule means that, you know, it keeps it nicely focused and stuff. So I definitely check out that. It's probably going to be renamed next week, because after it was published, and I think the first comment on it is like, oh yeah, I really like Rock Paper Shotgun's version, and Sam was just like, wait, what? And it turns out they do pretty much exactly the same thing, and it's like, oh, that Kieran Gillian, always one step ahead. So that's the Nukezilla Sunday Papers, which is a cool new column that we've got starting. And I think it reflects the idea that we're going for the, sort of like the longer, more quality articles. Obviously, we're still going to do news that's of interest to us, but like with the new format and all that, it just makes sense to have most of the articles to just be like the really big, nice reads. And besides, you have Wire.vg for all of your short newsy bits, which I really need to write something up on Nukezilla that actually explains like all of the features that site has gained in the last month. But basically, if you go there and you click the little, it's actually a little symbol of a pulse in the top left. If you go to wire.vg, click the little symbol, you can see all of like the trending news topics. I need to write up an article on just like how that works. I actually got partway through an article that I was going to put up on Nukezilla that was all like hey, here's what Wire can do. But I realized it kind of felt too much like an advertorial, like I was just like advertising. Because I mean, to be fair, I do want all of you guys to use YVG, partly because it's awesome, and partly so that I can make loads and loads of money. I was going to talk about the Wire business model, but I think I'm gonna do a different video blog for Wire than I do for Nukezilla, because the people who care about that are probably the overlap's probably not great enough to justify me blabbering on about things here. Whereas I can pop that on the Wire developers blog. Look, I don't know. Post in the comments, please. Give me some feedback here. Would you care if I spent 5 minutes blabbering on about Wire.vg, or would you prefer that I save that for a different video? I best go now so that this video doesn't get too long. As usual, have a lovely July 4th weekend if you are an American. Have an adequate weekend if you are not an American. And if you're British, just have a shameful weekend. Because, I mean, Americans, for the Americans watching this, what happens in Britain on July 4th is that we just sit around feeling sad. We're just like, they beat us. And then, like, quite often people kill themselves. I mean, second to Christmas, it's the highest suicide, like, holiday festival in the country. So I'm going to go off and think about what I've done and then go to a state fair where I'm probably going to eat some disgusting junk food, which is going to be glorious. Your homework is to listen to the new NZcast, be excited for the Communicast, read the Nukezilla Sunday paper before it gets renamed because Sam feels silly because it's the same name as the rock paper shotgun thing, and what else? Use wire.vg and leave a comment somehow on this video explaining what it is that you are doing today.